Hi guys, my name's Bex and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you my January book haul. So guys, it is that time again and it is time for my January book haul. And I'm excited to be sharing you with the 8 books that I received or purchased in the month of January. So January ended up being a big month for me buying books. Normally I haven't been buying as many books lately, but I went to Melbourne this month and I splurged a little bit and bought myself some pretty good books. But without further ado, let's just jump into the books I got, starting with the books I received in book boxes. The first book I received was from the special edition Owl Crate, and it was The Wicked King by Holly Black. The Wicked King is the second book in the Folk of the Air trilogy, I think, and I'm so excited to have this one. I have already read The Wicked King and loved The Wicked King. I cannot remember what month I read it in, but I will leave the wrap up down below and up there for you to click on. And I loved The Wicked King. I think this series is really amazing. It basically follows a girl named Jude who was with her sisters when she witnessed her parents' murder, and then she's taken to the Feyland with the murderer, and now like he's her dad, which is weird, and she's growing up in a world where the Fae hate humans, and she's bullied and picked on and is powerless in this world, so she is trying to find her own power and a way to fight back, I guess. She's a very determined girl, and I think this series is amazing. I think this book was amazing, and I cannot wait to get my hand on the last book whenever it comes out, because I just need to know. I need to know where it ends, because this ends on a cliffhanger and that's just not okay. This is also the beautiful Owl Crate edition, and I didn't love the first one's Owl Crate edition, but as they come together, like, I'm adoring them. The next book I received in the January Fairy Loot, and that was Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Skye. This is an absolute chunker, but it has amazing lilac stained edges, which I adore. And it follows a girl named Sora who can move as silently as a ghost. She can also hurl throwing stars with lethal accuracy. And they are apprentice warriors of the Society of Tigers. And as Sora's graduation is fast approaching, she wants to prove herself as well as her Gemini Damon. But they live in a kingdom where there has been no violence since the rebellion, and it's very hard to make their mark. And I'm excited to read it. It sounds really amazing, and I've been loving the Fairy Loot books lately, so I'm excited to see if I adore this one as much as I did the others. The next book I'm going to talk to you about is a book I received from a publisher this month, and that was Fated by Terry Terry. This is advanced reader copy from Hashtag Australia, so thank you very much Hashtag Australia for sending this one to me for review. I got this one unsolicited, but it sounds really intriguing, and it's set in a world with closed borders and political turmoil. But this story is following a girl named Sam, who is the Deputy Prime Minister's daughter. The government blames the youth for protests turning violent, and they are cracking down hard, with mobile phones now being blocked, gatherings are basically banned, and Sam is torn between her family loyalty and doing what's right. So I'm excited to dive into this one. It's a chunker, but it sounds amazing. It's also a prequel to the Slated series, so excited to see what this one is. I have not read the Slated series, but if I like this, I might potentially go into that one as well. The rest of the books here are the books that I just bought myself. So the first one I want to talk about is In an Absent Dream by Shauna Maguire, which is the 4th book in the Wayward Children series. And this is kind of like a companion novel series. They all go together, but they're all can be read by themselves. And this is following Lundy. And Lundy is a very serious girl who would rather study and dream than become the housewife that she is expected to be. But when she finds a doorway to logic and reason, riddles and lies, she thinks she has found paradise. Everything costs something at the Goblin Market, and when her time there has come to a close, she makes the ultimate bargain. That will never pay out well, so excited about this one. These are really short novels, and I can't wait to dive into it because they're always so interesting, and the worlds are built so beautifully, so I can't wait to see how In an Absent Dream goes for me as well. Next book I want to talk to you about is The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden. This is the second book in the Winter Witch series, and I am really enjoying this. This is a polar fantasy. It's based on Russian folklore and follows Vasilisa, and on the back it says, for a young woman in medieval Russia, the choices are stark: marriage or life in a convent. Vasia will choose a third way: magic. Yes! So excited to read in this one. I actually think I'm going to start this today because the Polathon starts tomorrow, so if I can get like a little head start, like I will, because I'm a big cheater. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you anything else about this story because it kind of spoils the first book, but The Bear and the Nightingale is based on Vasilisa, who can see spirits and sprites, and it's really, really amazing, and I really, really love it. And this is following on, and I think it's going to be a really, really good one. It's shorter than the first book, and I was so intrigued by the end of Bear and the Nightingale that I immediately wanted to dive into this one. So excited to see where this one goes, and I definitely will be reading this one in the month of February. Next up are the 3 books that I bought in Melbourne. The first one being The Survival Guide by Nikki Singer. This is a dystopian set in a world where there are borders and checkpoints, and you must prove yourself worthy of existence at every border checkpoint. This follows a girl named Mari who owns only 2 things: a gun with no bullets and her identity papers. She has learned how to survive on her instincts until she meets a boy that has no voice. She immediately goes into protection mode of this boy and is trying to get him to safety, and this one goes from there. I DNF'd this one already, so that's awkward. Bought this in January, tried to read it in January, and decided that's a no from me in January. I will leave my wrap up for January up above so you can see my full thoughts. It was a really good premise, but unfortunately the writing style was just really jarring for me and I could not continue. But maybe it's for you. Unfortunately, it wasn't for me. The next book I purchased was Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. As you know, I love Laini Taylor. I have read Strange Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares and adored it, and I thought I would dive into her original series, which was this one. I've actually never heard a really good synopsis for Daughter of Smoke and Bone, which is crazy because this is like a really hyped series, so that's awkward. But Jade has been telling me all the time to read it, so I just did it. I bit the bullet, I bought it, and I'm excited to dive into it. When Brimstone called, she always came. In general, Karoo has managed to keep her 2 lives in balance. On the one hand, she's a 17-year-old art student in Prague. On the other, errand girl to a monstrous creature who is the closest thing she has to family. Okay, looks like we're dealing with 2 different, worlds. Yes, raised in half our world and half in elsewhere, she's never understood Brimstone's dark work, buying teeth from hunters and murderers, nor how she came to it into his keeping. She is a secret even to herself, plagued by the sensation that she isn't whole. Now the doors to elsewhere are closing, and Karoo must choose between her safety of her human life and the dangers of a war-ravaged world that may hold the answers she's always sought. Wow, that's interesting. So, okay, doors to different worlds sounds about right. Yeah, sounds good. Can't wait to read it. And last but not least, the last book I purchased in the month of January was A Shiver of Snow and Sky by Lisa Louisdeck. And really excited about this one as well. This is a polar fantasy that, again, Jade has recommended, and it is on my Polathon TBR. But on the back, which really gripped me, it says, "Red, red, the lights glow red, beware the dangers up ahead." And it's in a world where the sky kind of portrays colors to tell you how everything's going. Like, green is good, everything's fine, blue means there's a snowstorm on the way, and red means danger. So, excited to dive into this one and see what it brings, but I don't want to spoil too much of the synopsis because I think this is one that's going to be really interesting going in quite blind. But that is it from me today, guys. Those are the books that I received in the month of January, and I hope you enjoyed. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more and have not already, and chat to me down in the comments. Let me know what books you received in the month of January. I would love to hear, but that is it from me. Bye!